Brace yourselves, this is the last preview breakdown of the season. I know, everyone let out your frustration. But we're gonna try and make the best of it, figuring out what exactly we can expect next episode. For those of you new here, this is a full spoiler video where nothing is off limits, even feet stuff. So let's jump into it. Well, if it isn't Rhaenys riding Meleys to the east. Try saying that 5 times fast. After her epic escape from the Dragon Pit, Rhaenys has made her way across Blackwater Bay towards Dragonstone, no doubt to be the first person to tell Rhaenyra that the Greens have usurped the throne. Remember that the events of episode 9 basically take place over 2 days, so Rhaenyra wouldn't have even heard of her father's passing yet. I'm curious if we'll get any further insight into why Rhaenys decided to spare the Greens. She could have ordered Meleys to burn them all in one fell swoop, saving tens of thousands of lives that will die as a result of the Civil War. In episode 9's Inside the Episode video, showrunners Ryan Condal and Miguel Sapochnik state Rhaenys didn't kill them because of her moral standpoint. This is one mother looking upon another mother doing what she needs to protect her son, and Rhaenys just doesn't have it in her. You can let me know in the comments whether you agree with her decision or not. At Dragonstone, Rhaenys warns Rhaenyra that the Greens are coming for her. Also, I just want to say I love her badass armor. Rhaenyra wears a black dress, fitting since the episode is called the Black Queen. By her side is husband Daemon Targaryen holding onto his blade, Dark Sister. House Targaryen has 2 ancestral blades, Dark Sister and Blackfire, so it's a great juxtaposition to see one in the hands of Daemon and the other in Aegon's. Rather subtle is Rhaenyra holding her stomach as she hears the news. Not only does she have to deal with the prospect of bloodshed, but she's also pregnant with her and Daemon's 3rd child. I wonder if Rhaenys will tell Rhaenyra about this infighting between Alicent and Otto. We know that Otto wants Rhaenyra killed, while Alicent at least wants to offer her terms of peace. On Dragonstone, it looks like Daemon and Rhaenyra have a serious discussion about whether or not to bend the knee. In the book, Rhaenyra is offered full control of Dragonstone and Driftmark in exchange for swearing fealty to the king. But there's something far more powerful at play here. Not only is Aegon II going to be a terrible king, but Rhaenyra has a sacred duty. She alone knows of Aegon the Conqueror's prophecy, something passed down from ruler to ruler. It is her duty to make sure she is queen so she can protect the realm from this upcoming evil. A shot of Prince Aemond about to take off his eye patch. In the book, it is said he'd often put a sapphire in its socket, so I wonder if we'll be seeing that here. A sapphire is also what's on his emblem in the intro credits. We can match up the background here with that of Storm's End, the seat of House Baratheon we saw in episode 4. In last episode's Green Council meeting, there was a brief talk about arranging a marriage between one of Alicent's boys and the Baratheons. You might recall Borman Baratheon helped Rhaenyra in her quest for a husband. However, he passed away sometime after episode 5, leaving his son Boros in charge. Boros has 4 daughters, and it looks as though Aemond will get his pick of which one to wed. That is, if Boros agrees. Remember that Aemond does not see marriage as this emotional bond, rather a duty. In episode 7, he told Aegon that if he had to wed his own sister, he would do it without question if it strengthened the family. So Aemond is being the good little soldier here and does what he's told. Now a lot of shit goes down here at Storm's End. One of Boros' daughters mocks Aemond, asking him if Luke not only removed his eye, but also his balls. And to add to the drama, guess who shows up at the same time? Luke, the guy who cut out his eye. Rhaenyra sent him to Storm's End thinking it would be fairly safe. She's always had a good relationship with the Baratheons. Boros even offers Luke his choice of daughter to wed, but he's already betrothed to Rhaena. As Luke makes his way back from Storm's End, a terrible storm rages. He gets on his dragon Eryx, but is attacked by Aemond on Vhagar. Normally, Eryx could have outflown the much larger and slower dragon, but the weather impeded him, and thus both Eryx and Lucerys are killed. Luke's body washes ashore 3 days later. Luke's death prompts Daemon to send the assassins Blood and Cheese to kill one of Aegon's sons as revenge. This might be what Helena prophesied as the beast beneath the boards, as the assassins use the keep's underground passageways to gain access to her chambers and kill her son Jaehaerys. However, the beast beneath the boards could simply be a reference to Meleys literally breaking through the ground at the Dragon Pit. Back at Dragonstone, Rhaenyra has assembled the Black Council, basically her version of the Small Council. In attendance are at least 2 members of the Kingsguard, Sir Steffan Darklyn and Laurent Marbrand. Maester Gerardus is here, and this is the only guy guy I couldn't figure out. If we're going by the book, he's one of the 5 lesser lords, either Celtigar of Claw Island, Staunton of Rook's Rest, Massey of Stonedance, Bar Emmon of Sharp Point, or Darkland of Duskendale. Not seen as Rhaenyra's biggest ally, Corlys Velaryon, who is likely still gravely injured and recovering at Driftmark, although in the book he is in this meeting. Aegon the Conqueror's painted table, which he used in his conquest of Westeros, is lit by fire or flame underneath. We see a piece move atop Winterfell. This is where Jace will be sent to gain Lord Cregan Stark's allyship, and the two houses sign an agreement known as the Pact of Ice and Fire. It proclaims that Lord Cregan's son Rickon, who's only 1 year old at the time, would marry Jace and Baela's firstborn daughter when and if they have one. We see a bunch of swords gathered at the meeting of the Black Council, with an argument being put forward that they should lay siege to the Red Keep. This is foolish. Neither side has enough strength to take either King's Landing or Dragonstone directly, so Jace, speaking on behalf of his brother and their betrothed, volunteers to ride forth and gain more allies, with him allegedly saying dragons will win the lords over quicker than ravens. I'm not exactly sure what Rhaena is going to do, considering she still doesn't have a dragon, although Daemon did find a clutch of Syrax's eggs, one of which will hatch and become a dragon known as Morning, who Rhaena will eventually claim. Here's a shot of Luke grabbing his sword hilt, likely at Storm's End when he's confronted by Aemond. Fun fact, he swore to his mother he would not engage in any fighting. Here at Storm's End, we get to see just how massive Vhagar is along the castle walls. Sir Eric Cargill has arrived, pledging his fealty to Rhaenyra, offering her father's crown. The last we saw this crown was atop Viserys' dead body, so it looks like Eric grabbed it and put it in that satchel we saw him carry while escaping with Rhaenys. Another epic shot of Luke traversing the storm, where he'll eventually be killed by Aemond and Vhagar. Now in the closed captioning, we can see an unnamed speaker say, "Your cause holds a power that has not been seen since the days of old Valyria." What exactly is this power he speaks of, and could it be magic? That's one thing that really hasn't been seen since those old days. A quick shot of a pensive Rhaenyra with Daemon in the foreground. Speaking of Daemon, we see him, likely somewhere on Dragonstone, singing in High Valyrian to a dragon. I've heard that none of the wild dragons of Dragonstone will be seen this season, so that leaves out this dragon from being the notorious cannibal. So my bet is that this is Vermithor, who was last ridden by King Jaehaerys. In the reflection of this dragon's eye, we can see what looks to be Daemon reaching to touch him. Outside of Dragonstone, 3 dragons make their way, likely Jace, Luke, and Baela, who have gone to seek allies. I thought this shot was really interesting. Vermithor burns the roof of this cave. Is he merely displaying his anger, or is this something Daemon wanted him to do? And if it was something Daemon wanted, was it to mine dragon glass, or expand the cave system? My mind is spinning with questions about why Daemon would be risking his life being so close to a wild dragon. Daemon takes out his sword as Otto arrives with the conditions of peace. Conditions which mean swearing fealty to King Aegon. No wonder Daemon drew his sword. We can also make out Rhaenyra, now with her own crown, reading these terms from a parchment. You'll also see Grand Maester Orwyle off to the side. In the book, it was Orwyle who delivered these terms, and when Rhaenyra questions him why he sided with the usurper, she has his chain of office stripped from his body and given to Maester Gerardus, letting Orwyle and his men leave with their lives. I also just like how this shot here mimics the same confrontation between Daemon and Otto in episode 2. And last but not least, we have Vhagar chomping his way through the skies of Storm's End, likely trying to take a big chunk out of Luke and Eric's. But now I want to hear what you think will happen in the season finale. Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe. Every little bit helps me and the channel out. Until next time, remember...
Where are my dragons?